Hi and welcome back to yet another episode of Reach Skyline's podcast. Today we are back again with another new video and we have here with us Mr. Ram Kesavan, who is the Chief Marketing Officer here at Reach Skyline. And today we are going to be doing something that is going to be educational for you if you are a small business owner. So we've been talking about a lot of stuff over the past few years. We have been talking about all things marketing, all things digital, all things content creation and stuff like that. But when somebody comes to me and asks like, I'm a small business, I want to start, the things that we generally tell them is, do not go for an agency right now, just try to create content on your own. And once when you think it is out of hand and you can't handle it, then come to an agency where we can provide more assistance. So what generally people do is they just, I want an agency, they'll go, off-roading like that. So we're going to talk about certain stuff that they can do without needing anything. And we were a small business once, and
we are still a small
we are still small business, and we were very small at one point. So we can talk from experience.
Two people company to a 20
per person company, and we can talk from our experience and what we
went through.
Yeah, what we went through and what we see the new small businesses are facing
Also.
And so what do you think is the key first thing that any small business that starts should be doing?
First, it is let's go with our story. That makes it easy for me to
resonate
and make it a real experience rather than giving fake examples. First thing that we did was we created an identity for our business. Once we understood what we are, we planned on doing social media marketing, and the next thing immediately that we did was we created an identity for our business. And the first thing that we did was we had a logo, we had a name. First we had a name, we had a logo, we had a tagline, we got a GST number. So
we did a small
registered, and with all these things we made a visiting card.
Yeah, a simple visiting card.
Website.
Yeah, reachskyline.tk.
Social media pages. And I think these were the 8 things that we initially
started.
did.
And this was when we were in college. I think we used all of our people to do it.
Knowledge to do it. And then we formulated our pricing strategy, what we are going to sell. But before, I still remember, I think we priced ourselves at 5,000 rupees to
5,815, I guess.
5,000 rupees to 15,000 rupees our package back then. And I still remember the first time I went and pitched the service to a friend of mine, who runs hotels in Madurai. He asked that service for 3,000 rupees and he said, no, I want to attain the social media virality. And, back then I thought it was possible, it was possible, and we wanted to do it also. We did not know but how to do it, but we did not understand the entire concept of money or how business per se works. We just looked at, this is profit. But then over a period of time, I think after our first year or after, I think right after 2 months, we had our office.
I think in Simakal,
In Simakal. So the next thing was we had to start bringing in cash. So that
because we had to pay the rent.
We had to pay rent. We had 2 team members. We had a designer and we had a salesperson. And one good thing I think that we always did and we are always doing is we are focusing equally on sales no matter what, however small we are or however big we are. We have always been focusing on sales. We always have a sales team. We always have a salesperson who's continuously pitching to new clients and
some product or the other,
some service. So for any business, small, never compromise on your sales team. You have any financial problem, you are tight on finance, you are not able to do something. But if you are compromising on your marketing or on your sales, you are not going to come out of that loop. You are going to be stuck in that loop again. The only way to come out of that is to bring in more money, and the only way to bring in more money is going to be your sales. So building identity, creating a service or a product, having an effective sales team. It may not be big but these are the initial 3 things we did when we were very small. And then I think we moved to Chennai after understanding that
Madurai market does not work. it was like very early. I think it was in a way where we thought like, I used to say this to my friends or family. There is a scene from Thiruviyadalaramam. In that scene, Prakash Raj comes in and he tells Dhanush, ஆள் இல்லாத போய் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும், நீ வந்து வேல்யூ இல்லைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So the first decision that we took Madurai as an example was we thought there were no players. No competition.
No competition.
But there was also a flip side saying if there is no competition, maybe there is no market for
no
it.
Demand.
No
the
demand.
reason for no competition is no demand.
Yeah.
Basically.
So we understood that, I think in 3 months or 2 months, I guess. Then we immediately packed. I think we went in your car only. Like we put all the stuff together and we went there. And then we started out there. And I think
one advice I think we should give to all these small business owners who are starting now or anything. We invested some money into building an infrastructure. We wanted to have an office. So I remember, we did some partition of the office. We hardly had some money back then, but we spent around 30 to 40,000, I think, on that.
Furniture. I think we don't even have that furniture.
Because we were not able to carry it to our next. So basically, when you start, and right now, we have this opportunity of work from home option. You don't need to have so when you're small, when your team size is not so big, when you're able to manage your workflow and all, do not invest in an office space. It is always better to have your team working from home. And in case of, what do you say? Not infrastructure, you want some operational gadgets like computers or anything that you want, better to rent it for the first 6 months until and unless you understand the market and understand what you are trying to do. Getting into the rent or getting into the, trying to do your services through other freelancers, somewhere like that. Outsourcing your work could help you.
Because like putting your money into a rent or an advance is too much pressure, because like you don't have any revenue coming in, and you already have put 5 lakhs or 3 lakhs into an office, and you have to pay for your team, you have to buy infrastructure, you have to buy equipment. It is going to be a lot of things. And I often listen to this, business people who will say, first try to make money, then put money inside. So if you want to sell eggs, buy 1 egg and sell it for 10 paise profit. Don't buy 1,000 eggs and say like, I'm going to start an egg business. That is not how it works. So a lot of people, when I say, no, I have to take an office, the first thing is I have to have an office. It is not like that.
Before all those things, the first thing I hear all these young guys saying is, I don't have the money.
Right.
The most funniest thing that I hear is, I don't have them. People say, ஐடியா இருக்கு, பட் பணம் இருந்தா நான் செஞ்சிருவேன். ஐடியா இருக்கு, பணம் இருந்தா நான் செஞ்சிருவேன். ஐடியா இருக்கு, பணம் இருந்தா. And that is the lamest excuse any person can ever give. If something is hindering you, stopping you from progressing in business, is only you. Nothing. If you want to be a strong entrepreneur or an entrepreneur with will, the only thing that is stopping you is you. Nothing other than you can stop you.
Right. So the number one thing is they should have an identity, which is I think which right now is very easy with all these AI tools, logo. Because like I remember we went to our designer friend and stood there. We want a star, we want it to be flying and everything. And right now we have ChatGPT, DALL-E and everything. You can just put your logo and it is like a matter of minutes.
True.
Number one. And the number two is like you said, like we never stopped focusing on sales, and we always had a salesperson. Even when we didn't have cash in hand, we had a sales team and we had a team in place. The third thing that you mentioned is, do not invest in very high-end equipment thinking it is going to fetch revenue. Start making revenue, then
start investing.
And what would you say the fourth thing would be?
So
what did we progress after that?
Next is we started building.
I think this is a very good point where we had our office and house together. I think our business progressed a lot better when we split that after that. We went to a different
personal office. And when we were able to split personal and professional.
Because I remember us waking up at 9:30 and just sitting in the hall and just starting to work. And it never felt like I'm in an office, because like there was my bedroom and there was my dress and there was everything. So it kind of mentally put me in a place like when 6 or 6:30 happens, I just want to go to my room, change to my shorts and just sit there. And even when our friends came in, they did not appreciate our place as an office. They'll just I remember some of our friends coming in and they'll just sleep in the hall, and the hall was our office, and we had a kitchen, and it did not quite feel like it. But I think after a point where we went to this Madipakam, like Vyasaka place, I think we had this first separation. I think at that time also we didn't have any cash, but we wanted to take the break. I think some of your relatives also.
We wanted to move on.
Yeah,
You know. A
you
lot
had
of
to
people
push on.
around me were telling me, you know, first thing that you have to do is the next step that you have to do in your
Right.
business is you have to. Yeah, but you know, I would never say that was a bad idea of us.
No, but it was a very big decision because like we were paying 6,500 here for the entire place, and we went to a place that was like 30,000.
30,000.
It was like 5 times our push.
I think no. When we moved into Chennai, we had no revenue.
Yeah, we had zero.
Yeah, so instead of we did not do the mistake that we initially did. But having that, separate spaces added a lot of efficient working
Right.
methodology.
It puts you in a work mode, I guess. And yeah, what will be the fourth thing?
The fourth thing is start investing on a team, start building a team.
And I think that's one of the very hardest things to do.
Yeah, especially with all this attrition that we are having, the millennials in the workforce. So lack of ownership, more opportunities. All of this is, hardest thing right now is to build a team. But the more harder it is, very little people will be able to do it.
Right.
So that is the
That is the risk of the business.
That is the only risk that we have to take. I want to build a team, and I know it is hard. So I know not many people can do it.
Right. And the building of the team is the very hardest.
Very hardest. The other things, I have friends who have tons of money. They have tried doing the same thing that we have done.
Not able.
Have failed.
Right.
Fail again and again and again. And I know the only reason why they are failing is they do not know how to build a team.
Right.
They do not know even how to communicate to a team member.
Right. Because like one of our clients called today. There's a hospital client. It's in the side of OMR. I don't want to name the client. He called me and said like I want to run ads for all these things. And I said like sir, like we recently hired a lot of people. What happened? They're not staying more than 30 days. They're
Not more than 30 days. Attrition.
And since he said like in August his business is going to pick up, so he wants more people.
Maybe.
So I said like I want more people inside. So it is possible. It is necessary at this moment. So I thought like 30 days in a hospital and with no dedication.
Hospital work environment is very
tough also.
Very tough work
but
environment.
he says like some of my very old clients who
Old
were in
employees.
team, they are like very dedicated and with me for a long time. But these new people, like we hear it from Madras Copios also, the attrition is the biggest thing that they face. But once you crack that, you have a very strong support system. So building a team is the fourth
important thing.
And fifth part is
Niche.
niche. I think it comes in starting finding a niche.
So until then, your sales team is exploring what.
Right.
So now you have a team. You understand the strengths of your team.
Mhm.
So then you divert it into your best market segment from where you can get your best
Design
profit out of it, and also delivering the best service or product to the people whom you are doing. So the fifth part is niche, basically.
Find your niche.
Find your niche. And so now you have your niche. You have a strong marketing team, you have a strong sales team, you have a strong operation team. You are able to work at the lowest cost, make high profits, deliver good outcomes. And the next thing is either you scale up, look into scale up, or you are looking to diversifying.
If you build a very good system, it is like easier to
scale up, or you look into diversifying into, because now you have time, because you have your team. Now they are able to maintain everything without you. And yes, so the next thing is always to look into scaling up.
Right.
But always one thing we all got to remember before scaling up is having real tight systems implicated within the organization, so that because when we are scaling up, most of our time is put into a lot of new ventures, new ideas, new way of working. There are a lot of chances of deviation from the current process, which may affect the current system. So affecting the current system loses the total stability makes the entire process unstable. So only a proper tight system implemented within the organization can allow you to scale up, or else you will never be able to scale up. You will always be trying to push, but then something else is going to happen. There will be some calamity back, so you have to step down. So to avoid this, it is always better to get the system implemented, make it work, and then go into the scaling up process.
And I think a lot of small businesses are trying to attend webinars, by all these people who charge the money for consultation and stuff like that. But these things, when you talk about it, it's like very basic and
very simple,
common sensical, basically. Like if you just think enough.
I always, as one of our teachers says, common sense
is the least common.
Least common. Most of the people I know, most of my people in my family, I know they are business people, and their thought, I don't see them understanding what even other successful business people think about sustainability, about growth. Their way of thinking is completely different. I do not know why. Maybe this common sense, as we think, it is really not common, and or maybe we think it is common. Maybe because we do it on a day-to-day basis. We are put into this on a day-to-day basis, so we think it is common.
Right. And it is very important for a new person who is coming into this digital scenario, where they need to understand that it is very easy, and they complexify it by talking to a lot of people who give them different ideas.
Influenced by
other
multiple
people.
Ideas.
And it will be like a random uncle saying, "Oh, wow, this business will not work. It's not sustainable." And he'll say, like, "I heard it from a person who is working in the UK right now. He told me something that is not good." And he'll have multitude of ideas put to him. And right now I'm seeing all this franchisee business by tea shop businesses and everything, like being promoted on Instagram by food influencers.
Correct.
Saying like you can make, there was this one hook that says you can make 5 crores with one tea shop in Chennai. And this is the hook, and people are just commenting like, I want to start. But not understanding the basics of a tea shop or a restaurant industry. There's going to be so much of attrition. If you're not ready to put in the work inside the physical location.
Before we started, once starting the business, but before starting any business, there are certain key words or key definitions that we should know. I think our MBA helped us understand. One is ROI. One thing that we all need to understand is ROI. So what is your return on investment? So if you're going to pay, say I'm going to invest 5 lakh rupees on this business, when am I getting that 5 lakh rupees back? So maybe it might take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So that is ROI. We have to understand the word ROI. Next thing, we have to understand supply and demand. So if we do not understand what is supply and what is demand, we do not get into this business. So these are the 2 key things that we should know. It might be true, having a coffee tea shop and making 5 crores, but if the supply and demand
is not there,
if there is a demand and there is no supply, it is possible, but
right.
But in a true competitive scenario, it is not there. But, only if we understand these 2 key things, we can have a successful business to start.
Because there are Instagram videos that talk about 2 friends talking about starting a business and say like, he has started a new tea business. Let's put one close to it. So I will always think, isn't the market share becoming 50-50? But they think, for him it is selling like 100 teas per day. So for us also it will be 100 teas per day. It is not going to be the same because like they don't understand the market share and everything.
Correct.
So, and for layman people to understand this is going to be very complex. And this franchisee business or any business idea will say like, you can just put this much and you can make this many years of revenue in just instant.
Yeah, I'm looking at franchisee business in India is slowly becoming a scam basically.
Right. Yeah.
I think people creating fake brands or already existing brands just for mere profits. They're just giving out franchises.
Right.
I have read about Subway, how their franchisee model started working and how it had affected their own business. So at what point Subway's biggest revenue was franchising. So it would allow when it was in the US, not when it became worldwide. So it would allow anyone to take a franchisee of Subway. So any word can take. So every 100 meters or 200 meters, you were able to find.
They cannibalize their own.
They cannibalize their own brand. So right now we are seeing the same happening in India with many brands. So like we see same brand across multiple places. Even in one same street, we can see same brands again and again. So, what were we? Like,
talking about how like people are getting into business, not knowing the.
So understanding, if you're going to start a small franchisee business, it's always better to know how many franchises are there, how many similar businesses are there. Get an agreement with the franchisee provider that he will not allow any other person to have a franchisee in and around their market area. So if all of these are given, it is a good franchisee model. Or else, if it's just a numbers game, it is not going to help you get your return on investment.
Right. And I also read about this where like if you are going to invest your time into something, it says like invest 100 hours of your time into learning about what that is.
Learning.
Then you put 1,000 hours of your time
working
to work on whether it is feasible or not. Then you put 10,000 hours to make it very big. So but what people lack right now is they don't put the 100 hours. They'll say, my mama told or my chittappa told, let me just get into it. But after it becomes a loss, nobody is going to come help you fix it.
Correct.
And I think these businesses, like we were talking about this in the last podcast, maybe talking about a vulnerable segment. I think the franchisee business also falls into a 10 lakh rupee budget where people are ready to just put their 5 years of savings into a single business so that it can make passive business.
Their need to be that entrepreneur. Need to be free from the rat race.
And it is also nowadays it's cool to say you're an entrepreneur and a business owner, and we understand the nuances and the struggles behind it, but they think it's very cool and it is like easy to make money.
More than struggle, it requires a lot of effort.
Right.
It requires a lot of your time.
I think we didn't make money until the 4th year, I guess. I think even after, I think we started making money in 2020 only. 2020. I think after our biggest clients came in. Up until that time, I think I always call you at the end of the month saying like we have 38 rupees in our bank account, right? And we had a City Union bank account, and it is like a notification saying like money has come inside is a very big deal because we didn't have any recurring clients. But a lot of people, what these people right now do is like after 3 years they'll say like I tried for 3 years and it's not working out. But the compounding effect happens when you stay sustained for a lot of.
We always, once you understand the pattern in business, you always find, your business is always going to take the growth curve and the decline curve. But if you understand what it is to do business, what it is to live in this world of technology, you will always find the next thing to do, the next thing to do, and you will have to repeat it.
And also you have to be ready to be steering your direction in a way where the market is also shifting, like adaptability and spontaneous decisions. I think we've covered everything, right from starting up to how we can scale and how.
Before starting,
identity creation, sales, and we've talked about everything. So if you are a small business owner and you need to have a clear idea of what it is, I think this video would have been a very good idea for you to start with. And if you need to talk to us or anything, our offices are always open. We are in L-Dubs Road, Thennampet. You can find our office there, and you can come and talk to us anytime. So thank you so much. It was a very nostalgic video, rather than just an educational video. It was very nostalgic for us. Thank you so much for watching. This is Guhan and this is Rajaguhan signing off. Take care. Bye.
Reach Skyline. Embrace digital.